Man, this Elden Ring DLC is too hard. That's what I've been reading everywhere on Reddit. Friends have been telling me, people have been talking about it, and I'm gonna agree, but I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna disagree. I agree that there's a clear increase in difficulty. As soon as you start it, you can tell right away. Even the first little boss in on the side on the left of the map where you go down and there's a guy with sword, you can clearly tell the difficulty. But I think it was a smart way to do it because the more I think about it, the more I see, and maybe this wasn't their intention, but I feel like it probably was their intention. But there's a possibility that when you get to the end of the game, you sort of start speeding through because you get really strong and you miss some of the extra things, you miss parts of the world, maybe. Not me, because whenever I play an open world game, I explore everything, which is probably why I haven't been having too much trouble with the DLC, because the thing about the DLC is I don't know the actual percentages or how it is, but you can start feeling a difference when you start using the skidoo trees and the revered ashes of something. It's two items that you pick up that you can level up at the grace points as you pick up more. It's like when you upgrade flasks and the tiers. You need more to level up the amount of flasks, and here you need more skidoo trees fragments in order to increase your strength or whatever it is. Or I think it drops the difficulty or something. It does something, but it does help with the game. But the thing is, you got to do a lot of exploring, and you have to go find off to like the edges of the map, and which is what I like doing. I literally run edges of the map, and I check all the dungeons, all the undergrounds. I jump off ledges when I can, and this game is rewarding me, I guess, heavily for actually exploring and taking your time to discover the entire map. And I'm not going to go too much into detail because this isn't my Elden Ring Shadows of the Erdtree review. That's going to come in a couple days when I finally finish. And let me preface this with I'm not done, but it's not because I can't beat it. I've been taking my time. I've spent maybe 10 hours literally just exploring the map. This map is huge, but we'll get into that later. But I feel like I can actually talk about the DLC and its difficulty because with what I've been hearing and reading and people telling me, there's three bosses that really stood out that I've already beat, which is the Dancing Lion. That's the first main one. So before I keep going, I do use my summon, but at the same time, I think it's still justified because I've been reading that people are using the summon and still struggling and still not able to beat certain bosses. Specifically, again, I'm going back to the Dancing Lion Super Beast, whatever it's called. Rolana, the boss with the fire and ice blades, took me 2 tries. And again, I do use my summon. I use a mimic summon, but Dancing Beast took me 5 tries. Rolana took me two, maybe three. I can't remember anymore. It was a super fast boss. And Mesmer, the fire, the snake guy. He was pretty hard, and I thought he was gonna take me as many tries as Melania did. Melania took me a lot of tries. I got him after 15 or so, which is usually on the further end for any of the bosses I fight, aside from Melania. With those three bosses, I fought them all, I killed them all. Again, Bensmer took me 15, the other one took me less than 10. So I wouldn't say this DLC is impossible or extremely difficult. It's hard. There's an increase in difficulty. I can feel it, and I can tell. They are doing a lot of damage, and I'm wearing some of the heaviest armor in the game, which is kind of crazy. But as much as people don't want to hear this, you gotta get better. You gotta get good. I these are some of my favorite games. Elden Ring was my first fully completed Souls game, and then I went back to Dark Souls 3, and they're meant to be hard. You don't come into Souls likes to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a good time. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm still having a good time. You don't come into these games expecting an easy playthrough. You're here to be challenged, you're here to get frustrated, you're here to overcome that challenge, and you're here to celebrate that victory. It's not going to be handed to you. If you want to go play something easy, something simple, go play Peppa Pig or something. Stop complaining that it's hard. Express your concerns. You know, if you're having trouble, summon friends, summon your mimic, summon something. Do use your grease or something. I don't use a grease. I summon my mimic because I also hear that people use all these buffs, and everybody, literally every single person that I've been watching or that I have seen clips or something of, everybody is using double katanas, which is kind of funny. I've never used the katanas in the game. I just walk in, summon the mimic, and I start bonking the boss, and then the boss is dead. I have a club and a mace, and I got 81, no, I got like 85 strength at this point. Just bonk the boss and you win. I feel like I have to talk about this because of how much I like the game and just the way the game is. Again, it's a hard game. It's meant to be difficult, and you're meant to struggle so that when you finally beat the thing that you're fighting, you get to celebrate and be accomplished that you were finally able to beat this boss. And people are talking about nerfing and patching the DLC, and I'm just glad I'm gonna beat it before, because after Melania, every single boss except for I think Clergyman took me, oh, and Placiducex. Clergyman took me 2 tries. Placiducex took me 5, I think. Everybody else, Moog, Godric, last guy, the Elden Beast, I don't know whoever else was. All those bosses I killed in 1 try. And I'm pretty sure it's because I was probably over leveled. Again, I used my Mimic on the first try because I'm trying to enjoy it on my first run. So I'm going to use what I have. I'm going to use my resources. But still, the fact that I could beat Moog in 1 try with my Mimic, and I've seen other people struggle with everything that they use, mimics, buffs, whatever else that they have, and it takes them 20, 30 plus tries. I'm probably a decent player. But this DLC, the way they structured it, I think it was really smart of them. Don't run into everything and go actually explore the map. Find some Skidoo tree fragments, find some ashes, use your summon, and just use what you have available to you. Play the game and enjoy the game. If once you beat the DLC, you want to go back with your game knowledge and play a new game, a new DLC game plus, I guess is what it would be called, go do it without your summon. But for now, spend your time exploring, upgrade yourself with the Skidoo trees, and use your summon and enjoy the DLC. Because why are you gonna suffer and even not get to experience what you paid for because you're making it artificially harder on yourself? It doesn't make sense to me, and I don't think it's justified for people to say that this DLC is bad because they're bad.